What a great audience you are. Wow, you're beautiful. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Kim Shuck, Poet Laureate of San Francisco. Thank you, Lauren Ito, who I met after some terrible things happened to her with hate crimes. And it's strange how we come together in moments of crisis as well as celebration. And we're probably in as critical as we can get, right? With that guy in the White House. But anyway, okay. I leave the preaching up to my husband, Reverend Cecil Williams. Do I have to speak into this?
A little closer so they can hear you.
Oh, okay. I thought it wasn't. Okay. Can you hear me?
There's 2 mics.
Can you hear? Can you hear me now? Better. And thank you, Thomas Walsh, for whom we would be dead without your help. Thank you. And thank you all for being here, and thank you for your love of poetry and for your love of the truth. I'm going to read a poem which Nancy Hom, who is a graphic artist as well as a poet, participated in an anti-violence, anti-hate crime project. She's a graphic artist, and she did this amazing graphic of an Asian person with their mouth wide open, and I'm not so sure if it's a he or a she, but splatters of blood on this incredible graphic. And she asked me to write a poem to it, so I'm going to start with that. And this is entitled, What Form of Madness? You build walls to divide us. It's madness. We who served your table, cooked your food, harvested your sugarcane. We have worked your canneries, picked your crops, built your railroads. You claim war against trade agreements, incite more race hatred. It's madness. You beat us with baseball bats, jail us in concentration camps. You kidnap our women and sell them as sex slaves. You tell us to go back where we belong, call us enemy aliens. You rip our children from us and cage them like animals. You lynch us, run us out of our homes, tell us to go back to shitholes where we came from. You call us Jap, Chink, Slope, Tonto, Flip, Spick, Beaner, Spook, Raghead, to cage our humanity. The hate crimes rise. Killings keep mounting. Madness. Do you think you can purchase our apathy? Look about you and see all of our mouths. We will not be driven out because of your hate. We will tear down the walls of fear and build bridges of love. We know all acts of compassion are victories in our war for justice. We defy your lies, ignite the light of truth in our throats. We stand up against violence. We are not alone. We won't dwell in your cages. It's our form of madness. Who has a beautiful grandson who is really identifies as being Japanese American, even though he is a multicultural kid. And so I thought I would write a letter to her about, all of that which our generations have gone through, and the simple acts of kindness that really mean so much, and that really are a part of how we survive, in fact thrive, and how we continue to be together as a community of humanity, no matter what race we are, no matter what age we are, and no matter what religious belief, whatever political, whatever. I mean, all of us are human beings, and we deserve the dignity and respect of each other. And I believe that that's what Cecil and many, many, many of our beautiful staff and I have strived for 55 years, is to create a community that is inclusive and diverse and loving and unconditionally accepting. So I was presented with a box when I did a reading in Stockton several years ago, And the box had the name Mirikitani written on it. And it was apparently, during the war, when we were thrown into the camps, it was apparently like kept by a Japanese American family who kept it for us and passed it on to the next people who purchased their home, and they kept it. And then the students presented me in Stockton with this box. And I was speechless I was speechless. He doesn't believe that I'm never speechless. But it was an amazing gift, and the box contained these precious pieces of china, bowls and cups and teacups of my grandmother. And it was so meaningful. And of course, my daughter will get these possessions when I'm gone, and she will pass them on to her son. But this is entitled "Letter to My Daughter." What is it about this day of remembrance, my daughter? This day that we've discovered the teacups of my grandmother, hastily left behind when they were rushed to concentration camps in Arkansas. I think of all your grandmother and her mother have left behind for us, within us, our dignity, our history, a love that rises. Sorry, I'm going in for cataract surgery in a couple of days. You can see why. A love that rises from the buried box, from the desert sand, from the ashes of our stolen past. I am moved to tell you about this love that prevailed through imprisonment and shame, self-hatred, loneliness, and self-blame. This love overturned injustice in the courts for redress, plowed once more the ground, the ground that was laid waste by the government. And from these brambles and weeds grew trees of gold pears and tomatoes bursting with seed. I am moved to tell you the stories of women who sang even in desert dust and swamp heat, that dulled the shine on their skin, imprisoned for expediency. My daughter, I want to tell you that my grandmother would fill cups with tea after a day's work and tell me how my eyes contained light that would illumine my possibilities. It matters not what they say about us, she said. All that comes before us dwells within us. All that comes hereafter is legacy. From the phosphorescence of our bodies, we are ignited by touch. We are rekindled by the breath of memory, the movement around us, the stirring for justice, the need for you, our children, to continue. Remember the stories we write on our skin, luminous with light that shines from within, and we will find one another again and again. Remember this, to love in yourself what the Spirit has gifted, and all that comes before and all that comes hereafter, all of it, all of it. Thank you.